against Ukraine.
What we are funding here is a stalemate war, and it needs to be brought to a conclusion because that country is going to be set back 100 years.
Also today, Trump announced his pick for the U.S. ambassador to Israel, former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. An evangelical Christian, Huckabee has long been a vocal supporter of Israel. As recently as June, he opposed ceasefire efforts between Israel and Hamas. Trump said in a statement that Huckabee, quote, loves Israel and the people of Israel, and likewise the people of Israel love him. As for Trump's Secretary of Homeland Security, another loyalist.
The only person in the race that I trust to do what needs to be done on these issues is President Trump.
Multiple reports say Trump has picked Kristi Noem, South Dakota's Republican governor, for the job. Like Rubio, Noem stumped for Trump on the campaign trail and was herself an early contender to be his running mate. Noem has echoed Trump's anti-immigration rhetoric, and she, along with Trump's so-called border czar, will be critical to fulfilling a top campaign promise: mass deportations on day one. Tom Homan, the former acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, will step into that role. On Fox News last night, he sent a stark message to all undocumented immigrants.
If you're in the country legally, you shouldn't feel comfortable. Absolutely not. When you enter this country illegally, you have committed a crime. You are a criminal, and you're not off the table.
One by one, the positions are filling out. But still, the House of Representatives hangs in the balance with more than a dozen races too close to call.
We have an embarrassment of riches.
Speaker Mike Johnson is confident Republicans will retain their control, even as Trump pulls from their ranks and narrows the margins.
Many of them could serve in really important positions in the new administration. But President Trump fully understands and appreciates the math here, and it's just a numbers game. We believe we're going to have a larger majority than we had last time.
One of those appointees is New York Representative Elise Stefanik, picked to be the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. She's a staunch defender of Trump, dating back to his first impeachment. Trump today named three-term Florida Representative Mike Waltz as his national security advisor, leaving another House seat up for grabs. Waltz is a retired Army National Guard officer who served multiple tours in Afghanistan, and like Senator Rubio, another China hawk. And Lee Zeldin, a former representative from New York, was chosen to lead the Environmental Protection Agency. He has little to no experience in environmental issues, but he'll be critical in Trump's pledge to dismantle the EPA's climate rules.
So day one and the first 100 days, we have the opportunity to roll back regulations that are forcing businesses to be able to struggle. Advancing America First policies is one of the reasons why President Trump got elected.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Laura Barone-Lopez.
And late today, President-elect Trump announced he's appointing Bill McGinley as White House counsel. McGinley served in the White House during the first Trump term. And Mr. Trump announced another major selection, John Ratcliffe, as the director of the CIA. Foreign Affairs and Defense correspondent Nick Schifrin is here with more on the president-elect's picks. So, Nick, what should we know about John Ratcliffe?
Ratcliffe was director of national intelligence in the last year of the first Trump administration after being a congressman from Texas and a member of the House Intelligence Committee. A Trump ally who's involved in the intelligence community in the past told me tonight this is a credible, knowledgeable, and excellent choice. But back in 2020, when he was initially nominated, there was bipartisan criticism and an attempt to kill his nomination by the Senate Intelligence Chairman, Senator Burr, and the Vice Chairman, Senator Warner, over concerns that he wasn't qualified for the job and over concerns about inflating his resume. That was then, though. He did become Director of National Intelligence, and a U.S. official today said that some of the concerns about him were that he believed that CIA was part of a, quote, deep state trying to take down Donald Trump. As Trump, when he nominated Ratcliffe, at first he said the intelligence community agencies had, quote, run amok, and Ratcliffe would try to rein them in, and it appears that he is going to be back to do that just now.
Okay, Nick Schifrin, thanks as always.
Thank you.
I'm Vanessa Ruiz in for Stephanie Tsai with NewsHour West, updating our top story. Late tonight, President-elect Donald Trump announcing more appointments. Pete Hegseth, an Army veteran and former Fox News host, has been selected to serve as Defense Secretary. And Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy have been picked to lead a new department of government efficiency. Trump said in a statement the department will work to dismantle government bureaucracy, slash regulations, and cut expenditures. The State Department says the U.S. will not limit arms transfers to Israel after the country made some progress in boosting aid to the territory. The U.S. had threatened to do so a month ago if the situation did not improve. International aid organizations, however, say the Israeli government has failed to meet U.S. demands for more humanitarian aid to Gaza, where conditions are at their worst point in 13 months of war. At the State Department today, officials defended their decision.
We would like to see some more changes happen. We believe that had it not been for U.S. intervention, these changes may not have ever taken place. But most importantly, we want to see continued progress. And that's what we're looking for.
Meanwhile, in Gaza, a pair of Israeli airstrikes killed at least 14 people today. Hospital officials in the southern city of Khan Yunis say 2 children were among the dead. Most of the fatalities took place in an area that Israel had declared a humanitarian zone. The Israeli military had no immediate comment on the strikes. Separately, a rocket fired from Lebanon killed at least 2 people in northern Israel today. And also today, Israel launched attacks on the suburbs of Lebanon's capital. One hit an apartment building east of Beirut, killing at least 6 people. A New York judge is delaying a decision on whether to uphold President-elect Donald Trump's hush money conviction by a week. Judge Juan Merchan was scheduled to decide the future of the case today, but is giving both sides more time following the Supreme Court's recent decision on presidential immunity and Trump's election victory. His lawyers argue the case should be dismissed to avoid constitutional impediments. Trump is due to be sentenced later this month following his conviction in May on 34 counts of falsifying business records. A federal judge has sentenced a former Massachusetts Air National Guard member to 15 years in prison for leaking classified military documents about the war in Ukraine. Jack Teixeira pleaded guilty earlier this year to 6 counts of willful retention and transmission of national defense information. He was arrested in April of last year and admitted to sharing sensitive defense secrets on the social media platform Discord. It was one of the most significant national security leaks in years. And in Louisiana, a federal judge has blocked a law that would force public schools to display the 10 Commandments in classrooms. A coalition of parents from different religious backgrounds sued the state, saying the measure violated their First Amendment rights. Their attorney called today's decision a reality check for Louisiana lawmakers who want to use public schools to convert children to their preferred brand of Christianity. Louisiana's Republican Attorney General plans to appeal. The head of the Church of England stepped down today amid pressure to resign over an abuse cover-up scandal. An investigation found that Justin Welby failed to report a serial physical and sexual abuser to police when he became aware of it back in 2013. In a statement, Welby says he takes personal and institutional responsibility, adding, quote, "I hope this decision makes clear how seriously the Church of England understands the need for change." Police in China say that at least 35 people were killed and dozens more injured when a man drove his car into a crowd of people at a sports complex. The incident happened on Monday night as people were exercising in the southern city of Zhuhai. Locals paid tribute to the victims at a makeshift memorial tonight. Police have detained a 62-year-old suspect who they say was upset over his divorce settlement. The Federal Aviation Administration has grounded all flights from the U.S. to Haiti for the next 30 days. The order comes after Spirit, American, and JetBlue Airlines reported their planes were damaged by gunfire while attempting to land in Port-au-Prince yesterday. Gang violence is plaguing Haiti. The U.S. State Department issued a do not travel advisory in September. For the first time, a jury has found a U.S. defense contractor legally responsible for contributing to the torture of detainees at Abu Ghraib prison during the Iraq War. Virginia-based CACI must pay $42 million in damages to 3 plaintiffs who said they were beaten and sexually abused at the infamous facility. One of the men seen in the foreground of this courtroom sketch wearing glasses wrote, "This victory is a shining light and a strong warning to any company or contractor practicing different forms of torture and abuse." CACI is expected to appeal. Still to come on the NewsHour, what Trump's pick to lead the EPA signals for environmental rules and regulations. Amid political shakeups, we speak with the family of hostages still held in Gaza. And renowned fiction writer John Grisham chronicles the real-life stories of people who were wrongly convicted.